All in Sports Network. We love sports.
Coming to you from the land of brisket and barbecue, always stars and law. This is All In Colts, presented by the Unstable Blues.
Welcome back in. So much has happened this week. We figured it was time to forego our usual fantasy stable. I know all you fantasy lovers out there must hate it. To give you our state of the Colts discussion. So let's go All In Colts.
Yes, I'm Kevin. This is my son Liam. We are the Unstable Blues, happy to present All In Colts as part of the Rogue Media Sports Network. Here we go.
Go. No notes
right.
for this episode. This is strictly
like you're getting the ultimate unscripted, natural,
which normally is better from us. I mean, from what we've been told.
Maybe. So here we go. Okay. So the Colts decided to go with Flacco instead of Anthony Richardson.
And as of right now, they are 4-4. I'm sorry, just giving an overall view of the season so far.
Right.
4-4. Every single game has been a one-possession game. I believe every single game has been under 7 points, so winnable by a touchdown. We have been in situations where we could have won. We've been in situations where we could have lost. Both scenarios, 4-4. Needless to say, it's not terrible. I mean, it's obviously not as what some people expected, but it's better than some people expected. I had a conversation with someone today about the Colts because he always just jokes around me. He's like, "Oh, the Colts are terrible. The Colts suck."
Of course.
He's a Philadelphia Eagles fan.
Oh, I mean, disregard everything he says because he is rude.
But I said we're not terrible. As of right now, we are mediocre. We are 8th in the playoff race. It's not bad. Yeah. Okay. So Joe Flacco is starting now.
Yep.
Ant is sitting now as the second string. I believe Bean is also on the practice squad, right?
He's back on the practice squad. Shane Steichen was asked about that in his presser, and he looked completely baffled and confused as to why anyone would ask about a practice squad player in this situation. But the point that this person was trying to make was the point that I had thought of as soon as it happened, because it happened at this almost the same exact time. Because we love Jason Bean in the preseason. He had some amazing stuff, and we went, wow, maybe he could be. And then he gets brought back at the same time as Anthony Richardson is benched, and the optics look a little weird, It looks a little like, doesn't look right.
Yep. I think this will be a common theme of this episode.
Well, listen. Okay, so we do this daily, right? And today was one of the first days that I was tired. I'm like, you know what? I don't really want to, but I can't. I'm not allowed to do that because we do this every day.
Mm-hmm. No, I enjoy doing it too.
Yeah. So, okay. Joe Flacco, 1-0 as a starter against the Titans. 2-0 if you include the Steelers game, but since Anthony started it and left with injury, he actually gets credit for that win. Not to mention he had already put them up one touchdown and got them really close for Joe to put them in.
Yep.
Joe Flacco has 7 touchdowns and 1 interception. Anthony Richardson has 4 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. According to Shane Steichen, this had nothing to do with this.
According to Shane?
According
to everyone.
According to Shane Steichen. And then Anthony seemed a little confused. He's like, nah. And then he was later asked if he would have done anything different. He's like, nah, I don't know. So, but according to everyone else outside of the organization, this should have been the absolute reason for this to happen.
I mean, Pat kind of hit it on its nose. I in this situation, I agree with what Pat said. If you want to, go check out what he said about it.
Jeff Saturday was on First Take like he is. And his comment was, absolutely, he should be benched without a doubt. If he does that, then he should be benched right away without a doubt. So if the organization is still listening to Jeff Saturday in any way, which I would imagine Jim Irsay is.
Yeah.
So the facts are, because we like to be good journalists, the facts are they're going Flacco. As it stands right now, he is indefinitely the starter. It was first reported he was starting this week. Shane confirmed today that he is the ongoing starter. Okay. Anthony is the backup. He is, as you mentioned. Okay. The tap out had nothing to do with it. That it had everything, and it was okay. He said this many times throughout his press. Like, this was his out of the actual question that he was asked. Joe gives us the best option to win now. That was his out.
Yep.
Heard
that a lot.
Many times. This is the reason. Joe gives us the best opportunity to win now. This is a great learning opportunity for Anthony Richardson, is what kept being reiterated.
Yep.
Also, the facts, as delivered by Shane Steichen. This was Shane Steichen's call. Solely. He had meetings with Irsay, but it was ultimately Shane Steichen's decision. Those are the facts. Those are the facts as reported in the press conference.
I think we both have different takes on this. As far as I guess I can go first.
Go for it. I mean, you can comment on any of this. You can comment on, any of the facts.
I am gonna go straight off and just say, between Joe and Ant, what my liking is, what my thoughts are on the situation.
Oh, one more fact. Anthony Richardson was in had just completed his 23rd start since high school and his 10th NFL start. 10 NFL starts is all he got, at least for now. They also said that they are not giving up on him. This is not them giving up on him. They knew that was going to be the narrative. This is not us. They still have full faith and belief that he can be the guy. But when asked if he would eventually come back, Shane said, "I can't predict the future." You
Gotcha.
want one more thing?
Let's hear it.
Shane was asked if he had basically, I can't remember the exact question, but he was asked if the team was behind this decision, right? If everyone was in on moving forward with Joe, and Shane's response was, "I can't speak for everyone on the team." Okay, go.
Yes. Okay.
Joe, Ant.
Yes, I have said this for, I think, 2 to 3 weeks now, that I believe Joe should be the starter. I am sticking with what I said. I think Joe should be the starter. Now, what that means of AR, I have no clue. I think Joe is what we need right now. I think we have a really talented team. I think we have an underrated team. No one really thinks about us. Yes, our defense isn't the greatest, but it's gotten better over the course of the season.
If you had told me after the Green Bay game that our defense would be what was like the Colts defense would be what was keeping them in the game versus their offense, I'd have said you're crazy. But here we are.
Yeah. I think Gus and the defense has really rallied and been able to perform stuff that we didn't think was possible, like you said, towards the beginning of the season. But I think Joe is what we need as of right now, like Shane said. He is a quarterback that can win. He is a quarterback who is experienced. Unlike whenever Matt Ryan was here, we have the offensive line for Joe to stand in the pocket. Yes, it's deteriorating because people keep getting hurt. But
I say it's the same people. It's actually less of the same people.
But it's better. Why is that the case?
Charlie Partridge.
There you go.
My coach of the year last year.
Yep. Our offensive line is so much better than it was, so Joe is able to play the way he wants to as a pocket passer. He doesn't make stupid decisions. Not saying AR doesn't make good decisions, but sometimes he makes some stupid decisions, whether that being trying to throw a ball that gets picked off within 30 seconds of halftime, or trying to make an extra play happen whenever you could just go down for the sack, live to fight another down. Joe also doesn't miss wide open targets. Yes, the guys missed catches, but AR also missed some throws. Now, another thing about the missed catches, yes, they missed the catches, but that's not always on the receiver. I've seen Instagram reels where you can throw a ball like a spiral. You can throw a spiral, and the receiver could be like the most talented receiver ever. And even if it's placed in the right spot, you could throw a spiral, place it in the exact right spot. The receiver could still not catch it because the ball wasn't thrown correctly. So it could be that as well. I don't know the exact science of it, but so I think Joe can make the throws. Joe is cool, calm, and collected, which I want out of a quarterback. I don't want a quarterback. I feel like Mahomes, you're watching Mahomes, and even Chiefs fans are kind of like jittery and like on the edge of their seats, obviously because Mahomes does Mahomes things, which, I mean, it's fine. But I think Mahomes, I don't know. He's not a cool and calm, collected quarterback, if that makes sense. He's great at being a quarterback, but he's not cool and calm and collected. You don't have to be great to be that, but that's what I like out of my quarterbacks, because then that keeps the whole team cool and calm. And therefore that leads to smarter decision-making and everything else that follows that, which I know they said we're not giving up on AR, but should there be a conversation about the quarterback situation in drafting next year? Because if we're going cool, calm, and collected, you know who I want? I want Cam Ward.
What was the first text I sent you after you actually broke the news to me? I wasn't out there. You told me. Mm-hmm. What was the first text I sent you?
You sent me a picture of the upcoming quarterback draft class. And
yep, who you want?
Cam Ward was on there, and I had been eyeing him all year. Watch him at Miami. He's doing amazing things. In the Heisman top 5, which means it's going to be a high draft pick. But if you think about it, what teams need a quarterback?
Yeah.
Like Panthers, maybe. But, like, they're going to go after Shedeur, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, who else needs it? No one else really needs it.
I like Dylan Gabriel. He's older. He's got more experience. He's been a couple different programs, and he's
There was
in
a
the
stat
number one
put out about Dylan
school
Gabriel.
pro program with Dan Lanning. So
There was a
that's what I
stat put out about Dylan Gabriel about passing yards or something like that in like college history over a 4-year, and he's like top 5 or something like that in that. I think I just entered it like the previous week. So he's a very talented guy, and he's low on the draft board too for some reason.
Yeah.
So he's also another guy that's cool, calm and collected, which
Yeah.
I like.
All right. So there's your Flacco AR debate. Your side of things.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a higher level here.
Okay.
And we sometimes periodically have this bit that we do on here called Kevin's Conspiracies.
Oh, here we go.
Because I love my conspiracy theories. Now, in no way am I saying that this is actually what has happened. But here's what I'm deducing from what I am hearing and the body language that is out there. Oh, there's your body language.
Sorry.
You're back. That's fine. So, okay. Shane, like the organization as a whole, has been saying that Anthony is a project. It's going to take some time.
Yep.
It's going to take some patience, right? Everyone in the organization has been saying this. And then he gets hurt last year. So now it's going to take even longer. And you have to pretty much say this is his rookie year. You gave him 8 games. When you said the whole way, even up to like last week, Shane Steichen was defending Anthony Richardson, saying it's going to take time. It's going to take, I have to be better. We need to do better, right? But then if they need to do better for him, then why aren't they being held accountable? And why is he being benched? Suddenly, there is a big shift in the it's going to take patience versus he gives us the best chance to win now. Those two phrases don't add up.
They
and don't go
contradict each
together.
other.
And a contradiction, to me, equals a conspiracy. So, my conspiracy theory is, and in no way am I saying this is correct, Jim Irsay got involved again and wanted to win now. He wants to recapture the glory days. The problem is the game has changed since those days, and so you can't do it the same way. And he knows that. He drafted the quarterback with all these traits. The other issue is to go through this many quarterbacks in this short a time with this one GM.
Says something about the GM.
Is a bit suspect. And so, to me, I believe that Shane Steichen is no longer in charge. And he's on his way out. It reminds me eerily of
Frank
2022. And just in time to go back up to Minnesota to do that game again. That was Jeff Saturday's second game, I believe. No.
I think it was later on.
He wasn't on board for that one. No. The Cowboys game, he was on board for that one. But so to me, this is an organization that does not know what they want. With an owner that should be fighting for his life, not owning an NFL franchise. He needs to pass it down to his daughters who can run it. I'm really glad that the Ursays have put so much investment into kicking the stigma for mental health initiative that they do, because all the Colts fans are going to need it. They're going to need mental health with the stuff that this organization is putting these people through. Because yes, you are correct. They are mediocre, and they have been mediocre, and their decisions continue to make them mediocre, because you just said that Flacco gives you the best chance to win now, but there is no future in Flacco. He's on a one-year deal at 39 years old. Do you think he's going to come back next year? So that means more of the same that the Colts have been doing the past several years, where they're back in the, washed up veteran QB market, or they are trying to salvage Anthony Richardson when they gave up on him, regardless of what they say. Or you're back trying to get a rookie quarterback, but Joe Flacco will do just well enough. You can't get a great top pick. But as we've seen from Brock Purdy, from Tom Brady, from, I'm trying to think who else was a late round. There have been undrafted quarterbacks that have gone on to greatness. Doesn't matter where you came from. I actually prefer a guy who had to fight a little, scratch a little, claw a little to get where he got. A guy not like Shador. Maybe a guy that, like Dylan Gabriel, who's been around to different programs and, had to prove himself. Look how well Bo Nix is doing. A little shaky start, but he's doing pretty good right now.
Yep.
Same thing with Jaden Daniels. Played longer, switched programs, two different systems. Helps a guy. So that is my Kevin's conspiracy take, that the organization is failing not only their quarterback, but failing the entire organization, the fan base, and the city, in my opinion, by continuing to not be satisfied now and therefore hurting themselves in the future.
Yeah.
Because I told you, every time you said go to Joe, I said you're going to kill the kid's confidence. Dude was on the verge of tears in his presser today. You could just tell. He said the right things. And credit to him, he said God's always on my side, and absolutely believe that 100%. But he did a promo at Dairy Queen, and that may be his new job in a few years. That's just how it goes. There has been no rookie quarterback, he's still a rookie, that has ever sat and got benched in his first year and been brought back and been successful anywhere.
Yeah.
It could be different. It could be different.
Yep.
I don't know that it will be.
What I'm hearing is just a lot of could be's, which I don't like. I think you kind of touched on how AR is going to take even longer to develop now. I think, and I don't think the Colts necessarily want that necessarily, because they do have a team that can make a run now or in a year or two. And I think, and then we also think about it, we built the contracts around AR and his rookie deal. So now you're digging yourself a hole financially, which makes it even harder on the organization, which makes it harder on the fan base, the city, so on and so forth. But Pacers gotta win. That's nice.
Pacers.
Pacers got to win in overtime. Siakam drilled a 3 to beat the Celtics. That was
They
off
did.
topic, but we were talking about City, so I had to address something nice about City.
That is correct. Yep. Yeah, I mean, the other statistic here is Joe Flacco is 1-0 against the Titans. Sorry, he started against the Jaguars too. He's 1-1.
Yep.
I mean, yes, performance better, end result same.
Mhm.
Same thing, 500. So,
Yep.
well, anything else from you?
Nope, that's about it.
All right. Completely unscripted. There you go.
Yeah.
That is it for today. We'll be back. Colts can avenge the biggest comeback in NFL history in primetime against the Vikings.
Yep, this is Liam
And this is Kevin.
reminding you to stay all in Colts.
All in Sports Network. We love sports.